You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
Because of the following special program, Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. This is Making Tracks. Here are your hosts, Mark Newbold and Mark Mulcaster.
That's not true. That's impossible.
You're listening to Making Tracks and a very special episode as we catch up with Ashley Eckstein and Michael James Scott to discuss the 10th anniversary of the Her Universe fashion show, which takes place at San Diego Comic-Con. We were fortunate enough to speak to both of them, and first it's our chat with Ashley to discuss 10 years of the Her Universe fashion show and much, much more on a very special episode of Making Tracks. It's the 10th annual Her Universe fashion show taking place at San Diego Comic-Con. But what I really want to know before we delve into the details, where did you get the idea to even do this? Because it's become an institution of Comic-Con and it's known outside of just that event. Where did the idea start?
The idea started from the fans. You know, I've been going to San Diego Comic-Con since 2007, and I've always just marveled at the original designs that fans would work on for hundreds of hours just for San Diego Comic-Con. You know, they would use the halls of San Diego Comic-Con as their runway to showcase these incredible couture level designs. And I was always so in awe of their amazing work that I thought, you know, it's such a shame that there's not an actual runway for fans to showcase their designs on. And so I started dreaming of what it would be like to have a fashion show worthy of New York Fashion Week or Paris or Milan Fashion Week, but at San Diego Comic-Con. But even more so, you know, the foundation of San Diego Comic-Con and Comic-Con International is education. And it's important to Comic-Con to always have an educational aspect to everything that they do. And so I wanted that to be the same with our fashion show. So that's why we made our fashion show a competition show. And that's why we teach the designers along the way. And then we pick two winners. And those two winners have the opportunity to design a professional collection with Her Universe that is sold in retail, and they get a royalty for their collection. They get a royalty for the pieces that they designed, and we teach them every step of the way.
So that intrigues me because there's a process to pick the people that are involved in the fashion show. And as you say, there's the two winners all picked by the judges. We spoke to Michael recently, fascinating conversations. That was so much fun. And all of that happens. And then they sit down, presumably it moves to the next level beyond San Diego, because then they sit down with the team at Her Universe and work out what's required and what happens. What is that process like? Because as a designer coming into this, some are novices, I'm assuming some have got some experience, but that must be a whole new world for them.
Oh, yes. Yes. For the two winners that are selected. So we have a judges winner and an audience winner. And, you know, the audience truly picks, you know, every member of the audience gets to vote. And then we count the votes right then and there. And the audience actually plays a role in picking one of the winners. But for those two winners, it's a year-long process. Yeah. So they start immediately, literally the day after the show. We have our first kickoff meeting and we share with them what they're going to be designing. And then they work with the Her Universe team from, you know, beginning to end, from the initial concept and ideas and mood boards and, you know, just the full design process all the way through manufacturing and fit and then marketing, and all the way to the retail floor. They're involved in the entire process. And like I said, it's a real education and teaching process. I'm very proud of the Her Universe team because they teach these designers what it's like every step of the way.
Not being a fashion guy, I'm assuming that that must be quite unique in the world, not just of geek couture as we say, but in fashion in general, to literally be able to put your opportunity to such great use and be shown everything from, as you say, from the very beginning right through to the marketing. That must be quite unique.
It's definitely unique, and it's something I haven't fully looked into, but being in the industry, I can definitely say that there are very few opportunities like this. This is truly a one of its kind opportunity for designers to not only showcase their designs in a fashion show, but to then receive a real professional opportunity like this that they get to learn, but also that they're actually paid for. They do receive a royalty from designs, and it's very important to us to give the designers a real professional look behind the scenes and what it's like to be an actual fashion designer. So it's something I'm very proud of. It's something we've partnered with Hot Topic on from year one. They actually had the idea to give the designers a chance to design a collection for Hot Topic, and that it would be available in stores and in retail. And I'm very proud of what we've been able to build.
You should be. It's fascinating. We've followed it on Fantha Tracks for years, and it's always fun getting the pictures. We've got friends who attend who are on that side of the world, so it's always nice to see the pictures. But I'm assuming that year one of the Her Universe Fashion Show and now year 10 of Her Universe Fashion Show, there's an evolution. There's been changes. So walk us through a little bit of the changes that have happened to the show over those years.
Well, the show has just wildly exceeded all of my expectations. I definitely hoped that the fashion show would become a must-see event at Comic-Con. Our show has always been on Thursday nights. So it's always been my dream that the show would kick off San Diego Comic-Con. That when you think of the first big night, the first official night, Thursday night, you would automatically think like, oh, Thursday night is fashion show night, of course. And, I'm very proud that has become the case, that so many people, think of Thursday night and they think of the Her Universe fashion show. But what I didn't anticipate was, the how much the fashion and designer community has grown. That a community of designers that are supporting each other and building each other up and staying in touch throughout the year, not just during our show, but they actually have year-long private workshop groups with hundreds of designers in these groups where they support each other all year long. And just the positive community that the show has built has just, like I said, exceeded my expectations. And also the fact that these designers have gotten jobs because of our show. They've they put the fact that they've been a designer in the Her Universe fashion show on their resume, and it means something. It's actually helping them get their foot in the door. It's inspired career changes. People are working professionally in the industry because they got their start on our stage. That has truly been incredible. And then also, the fact that we're now partnering with studios and major corporations for our show is just surreal to me. In the past, we've partnered with Universal, and the show She-Ra.
Yeah.
We've last year we partnered with Disney, and we were celebrating 100 years of Disney, and then this year the show is presented by Mattel. I mean,
Yeah.
that for me is just bucket list level, and never did I think that we would be partnering with such major studios or corporations to put on our show. So it's very surreal to me.
I mean, after last year, Barbenheimer, they were the two, yeah, Oppenheimer and Barbie
Yes,
were the big things. I can't imagine Oppenheimer being a big part of the Her Universe fashion show, but Mattel and Barbie makes all the sense in the world. How on earth did that come about? I mean, it feels like the most obvious perfect marriage. Again, you've just said it. You're thrilled. It's fantastic.
absolutely. It was a natural fit this year because not only are our brands aligned, I mean, everything that, Mattel stands for, and Barbie, and, Polly Pocket, and just
Yeah.
creativity and imagination, our brands are so aligned in what our mission is. But also, this year in particular is a year of milestones. So we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Her Universe fashion show, but it's also the 65th anniversary of Barbie and the
Wow.
35th anniversary of Polly Pocket. And Mattel is going into next year, it's going to be their 80th anniversary of Mattel. So many milestones to celebrate. And so it just made Mattel a natural partner for this year's show.
Like you say, it absolutely feels like the perfect partnership. And obviously, a huge part of the fabric of what this is all about is inclusivity, is creativity. It's making fans have the ability to show their passion through their fashion, if you like. What does that mean to you to give somebody that chance? You say some have really took the ball and run with it, which is fantastic as professionals. But for somebody, even if they don't win, they're up there on the runway. They're showing their pride in so many different ways. What does that mean to you?
The fact that that has happened, that, designers have gotten jobs because of our show, or, they've put it on their resume, and it actually means something and matters, or doors have been opened because of our show, is all I've ever wanted. I get joy. This is what fuels me. I get joy by helping others. I get so much more joy by helping others than I do by helping myself. And that's all I ever wanted. I founded the show because I wanted to give designers a spotlight. I wanted to give them a proper stage to showcase their designs on. And the fact that our show is changing so many lives is literally my dream come true. And it makes me so happy. So this year, I hope will be no different. The designers' designs are absolutely incredible. They continue to raise the bar every year. And, I say this to the audience, whether you're into fashion or not, I promise you, come to our show and you will have the best time. You don't need to know anything about fashion to enjoy our show. And I promise you, you're going to leave inspired. There's something for everyone. It will be exciting. You will laugh. You will cry. You will cheer. You will dance. You will jump out of your seat, and you might even find yourself walking on the runway.
For everything in one location, daily news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, video, and social media feeds, bookmark FanthaTracks.com for Star Wars news 24/7, 365.
We also caught up with Michael James Scott. Michael will be co-hosting the fashion show for the second time this year. So here's our chat with Michael James Scott about the Her Universe fashion show and much, much more. I'm really interested to know more about the fashion show because it's been going for 10 years now. and it's become a
Yes.
staple of San Diego as part of the events that go on there. It's Fun Ray on the One Ray, basically. So it's your second time hosting as well. Tell us, for people who don't know, anything about the fashion show, give us an insight into what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing about it, it's the 25 designers will showcase, really one of a kind custom geek couture looks on the runway, right? And that's what we're celebrating. And obviously each year there's a theme, and it takes place in at the Manchester Grand Hyatt Hotel in San Diego. They're big ballroom. There are thousands of people in attendance, and it is literally like the fandom fashion heaven of amazingness. There are the judges. There's usually a really exciting prize that wins. We have amazing judges who get to judge. This year we have Rachel Pedersen and Raven Kay, with Robin Mott, she's SVP of Hot Topic Merchandising, Vivian Madrano, who's the creator of, if you've not seen, Has Been Hotel, which is incredible, and the VP of Barbie Products Design at Mattel is Robert Best. So this is what you can, these are the judges who are judging these amazing designers. And then, they design their looks, you get to see them. And in between that, there's lots of amazing things that happen, things that are fun surprises that are, don't want to give away. But we really showcase and spotlight fandom fashion and what it has, this Her Universe community that Ashley Eckstein has created and really founded, and this thing that really just blew up into an incredible fashion event of the year.
I thought it was amazing that one of the judges was the VP of Barbie at Mattel. Obviously, Mattel are a partner on this, but after last year, when Barbie was literally everywhere, what perfect timing to have that, involvement in a fashion show like this. It's fantastic.
Yes, I mean it's obviously very exciting to have any of that, and especially like you said, Barbie was such a huge thing last year. So it's very exciting but you never know what's going to happen, at the big. So it's a part of Mattel. There's so many things a part of Mattel that you're like that I didn't. I was like, oh my gosh, that's Mattel. So it's really exciting, and like you said, it's when you have that kind of big power coming and being a part of something, you never know what can happen.
No, totally. Ashley was at the forefront, really. I mean, fans have worn what you would call like geek couture, geek clothes forever, but there wasn't so much options for women until Ashley really came into the market and really made that thing happen. And it's gathered, Rolling Stone gathers mass and all that. It was built and built and built and built. So if you're an aspiring designer and you want to be a part of this, you make this a watermark for your fandom, or also as a designer for your career. How would somebody get involved? How would somebody be even in the frame to pitch to be a part of that fashion show?
Well, I think there's a lot of different things. I know they have to sort of being a part of it. I know that there's a lot of steps beforehand, and there's like a whole where you can submit your designs. Basically, you have to submit your designs, and there's a whole thing of requirements that has to happen as you do that. And I can't remember how many months it is beforehand, but it's something. It's happened many months beforehand. Yeah. So they're really what's amazing about it, and it's not just sort of like you're a designer, you like throw in a design. You literally put in design, and then you're in conversations with, with Ashley, you're in conversations with other designers. There's a real camaraderie, there's a real community in this. So in order to do it, it's like, if you want to do it, look, really start looking at where those deadlines are. There's so much of obviously online, and you can find out exactly where to do it from, especially on all the Her Universe stuff. Ashley talks about it as well. And you can always reach out to some of the other designers who have done it in the past years. But that's really how you can get involved and really submit your designs. But it's the community of it, to me, that I have been so just floored by. It's not like I said, you don't just submit a design and then you don't hear. You submit designs and then you're in conversation about it. That's really, really exciting, and I think that's what makes it so special.
It's your second time hosting.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful past history with Ashley. You've known each other forever and a day. So how did you come to this?
Yes, that is a good question. How did I come to this? So Ashley and I go back to high school days. We were both, show kids doing theater and doing performances all around, the Orlando area. So we've seen each other grow up, right, and go into our own paths. I went into the Broadway lane. Ashley like the TV and film lane, and then here we are in voiceover land, and she gets this amazing gig as the voice of Ahsoka Tano, and how that expanded for her. Our paths connected again, which was so crazy in such a beautiful way. And it's been fun to sort of follow her sing, and she's been following my whole path. And then literally, like last year, she was like, this is not a world that I've really been. It's not. It was really Ashley, and that really opened this into me. My husband, who happens to be the director this year, also Emmy Award-winning director, Jeremy Merrifield. He loves this world, and so he actually had some. He's known about this kind of this world for a while. I didn't, and so cut to Ashley saying, "Listen, I would love for you to co-host the fashion show with me this year." And that was like, okay. And when I tell you I had no idea what I was getting into, I had no idea what I was getting into. She was like, "I can't even really explain it to you." She's like, "You have to kind of just, experience it, and you'll see why it's so special." And then literally it just blew my mind. Because what was so amazing is that there's actually a connect with the Broadway community and this community that I didn't really quite understand, and in such a beautiful way. And I was just floored at the community of it all, but the energy in the room, and obviously there'll be a different energy in this room. We can't recreate the energy that was last year or the years prior, but what we can do is we know that there's community, we know that there's love, we know that there's light, we know that there's laughter, we know that there's acceptance. And that's what's going to be in that room the moment you walk in. And that to me was what was the standout that made me so just incredibly honored to stand there. We just had fun. It was just like standing there with my friend who I've known for years, and we got to have fun and just be a part of this fashion fierceness that was happening all around us.
So you say your husband got it. I'm guessing he's a bit of a geek then. So he's kind of into that sort of stuff. And you come into this world as a new thing. So you're clearly, I can see from your face, you're thrilled to be a part of it. But was it what you expected? Because as you say, inclusivity, it's all about that. Geek couture, it's all about that. Everyone coming together, it's all about that. So was that not? Did you expect it to that level? Maybe that's a better way of phrasing it.
I don't. I think what I yes and no. What I didn't expect was really how deep it got in terms of feeling connected in a community that has also maybe felt like they are others, like they've been othered. I'm a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and I also, spoiler alert, I'm Black. You know what I mean? So I have felt othered. Being a minority, being a part of the minority community, and now also part of the LGBTQ plus community. And what's been amazing is sort of seeing the connect of this fandom world, because so many of that community also have felt othered. They have felt left out. They have felt not seen, unheard. When you think about women, and what especially in that, not feeling that, the same thing, right? Like not feeling seen, not feeling heard, and that's the brilliance, I think, of what Ash has done with it. Because what I have found and what I've come to learn, and my husband said this to me ago. When people put on some, these looks and stuff, that's a bit of their armor, right? And there's an armor thing that really connects in a beautiful way, because when we put that armor on, we get a little more confident in maybe how we express ourselves. So that is exactly why I love theater. It's literally exactly why. And so that connect, I think I didn't quite understand how deep of a connection I would have with this community, and why I so much so felt very honored to be a part of, because the inclusivity of it all just made my heart soar, and it made me want to be a part of this and know why it's so important to be a part of it. So that for me is I think, when you really peel back the layers, yes, it's fun to be in the fashion of it all, and I'm going to be wearing high heels with the best of them, and and my lashes and all the things.
Yeah.
But what's great about it is when all that peels back, that we can connect on just being seen together.
Yeah.
And that to me is the beauty of this event.
I get that. From a different perspective, this fandom, these fandoms, at its best, we're all just brothers and sisters. At its worst, it's as bad as any other group of people. But yeah, when it gets it right, it's beautiful. Totally.
Yeah.
I have no idea you had such a rich and deep history with Broadway, with the West End. Just doing a little bit of research, I was blown away. What do you bring from that world, which you've had tremendous success, to the runway at the fashion show? What do you bring with you?
I think it's the showmanship, of it all. I'm a theater kid, and Ashley also is a theater kid, and so I think she wanted to marry that world. I kind of came back into her life, and I think she was like, "Oh my God!" Like, it's like, Michael's bringing the theater kid back in me, and I think that we connected on that aspect, where I'm like, I got her to sing her first song she had not been like in 20 years, and we on the Disney Vacation Club cruise, she sang a duet with me, live, and so it was just sort of like fun to sort of like revisit that. I think it's the showmanship that I get to bring. I am a showman, and I love it, and I'm grateful for it, and it's been fun to sort of marry that. I think that marrying that with this world and with the fashion show of it all has been a really fun and I think a really right connect. And the energy of it all has just made it a different thing that they hadn't had before. Yeah. And I'm happy that I've got to bring it. Help bring it.
It sounds amazing. We always have our little photographers there taking pictures from the show, so we'll always have coverage on the site. But as a final question, what thing are you looking forward to this year the most? Having done it before and now doing it again, your prep must be insane. I can only imagine what your prep must be like. But what are you looking forward to the most for the 10th annual show?
I think it's the wow. It's the wow moments I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to seeing artists, have these wow moments, and also after all this time, really sort of like seeing them be spotlighted. Yeah. I think that that's really fun to see their faces when they walk down that runway, and how proud they are, and how the audience just like goes wild for them, and to see this incredible work. It's so fun to watch that, and I get such an incredible vantage point because I'm backstage and as well, and so it's really fun to see them kind of put on that armor and walk down that runway and show off their look and show how amazing they are, and be in their bodies and be included in this incredible world. That to me is what I'm looking forward to again, is just seeing their faces light up and seeing someone really feel like they're fantastic.
Visit fanthatracks.com or be sure to comment, like and share on our social media feeds at Fanthatracks. Send in your listeners' questions by emailing radio@fanthatracks.com. Subscribe, leave a review, preferably a 5-star one, on Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher or smart speaker of choice. And as always, thanks to James Temple for composing the Fanthatracks intro, Adam O'Brien for our Making Tracks opening music, and Mark Daniel and Vanessa Marshall for our voiceovers. Tune in to Good Morning Tatooine. It's live Sunday evenings, 9 o'clock UK, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch. And check out our Fanthatracks Radio Friday night rotation every Friday at 7 o'clock UK time for new episodes of The Phantom from Down Under, Planet Leia, Desert Planet Discs, Start Your Engines, Collecting Tracks, Cannon Fodder, and special episodes of Making Tracks, and every Tuesday at 7 o'clock UK time for your weekly episode of Making Tracks. And remember, Fanthatracks.com, our social media feeds, Fanthatracks TV and Fanthatracks Radio are absolutely so no Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, Kickstarter or Indiegogo required to stay updated on all the latest Star Wars news.
Coming up next on Fanthatracks Radio, it's Making Tracks.